Let it go この決意 Unbreakable 愛する世界に不正なアクセス許さないぜターゲットロックオン今すぐ出動 It's moving time 飛び込め危機の最前線シャットダウン完了特命戦隊ゴーダスターズ
It's time to review Jackie Chan Adventures for the PlayStation 2. This game is going to be rather difficult to review because, one, there's barely any footage on YouTube, so you're going to be seeing this gameplay trailer over and over, and two, it's hard to talk about. Now, you might be wondering why this game has barely any footage. Well, it's because this game is Europe only. Hip Interactive were going to publish this for America in 2005, but then they went bankrupt, so the game never got published. And as you can tell by the name, this is based off the hit cartoon of the same name. I liked it as a kid, but I haven't watched it in ages, and the only reason I can even think of watching it again is the awesomeness that is Uncle. The game's story, from what I've heard, is a combination of the plots of the first two seasons. An archaeologist named Jackie Chan, who is not voiced by his namesake unsurprisingly, collects artifacts for his uncle's antique shop in San Francisco, and he's looking around in Mexico when he finds 3 talismans. There are 12 of them, each engraved with the symbol of one of the animals from the Chinese zodiac, and they grant their user magical powers like double jumping, what? Invisibility and super speed, basically faster animations. These are being pursued by a group named the Dark Hand, led by a guy named Valmont. They're also trying to release 8 demons from the Netherworld with the Panku puzzle box with the assistance of this dragon thing called Shendu, which always confused me as a kid since I could never tell whether it was a man or a woman. So, Jackie is tasked by this mystical agency known as Section 13 with collecting all the talismans and stopping the Dark Hand from conquering the world with demons. Jackie Chan Adventures is... I'm not sure how to describe it, actually. It does have platforming in it, but not enough to make it a 3D platformer. It does have fighting, but it's not really in depth, and again, not enough to make it a brawler. I suppose I'll let you guys figure that one out for yourselves. The X button jumps, the square button punches, and triangle kicks with combos that can be made by changing what button you press at certain times. Circle is the context-sensitive button and blocks during combat. R1 locks onto enemies, and L1 allows you to use the talisman, which can be selected by pressing up or down on the D-pad. Now, there's a few problems that the game has. For starters, you can't go back to previous levels. Why is it so many games I've looked over tend to do this? Let's take a count. Legend of K, The Hobbit, this. Okay, not so many, but you know what I mean. You can't ever play previous levels for some reason. Also, the gameplay is just really dull at moments that it makes even ancient Egyptian algebra a more enticing thing to do. Second, there's a lot of situations where you don't know what to do when facing a boss. I mean, I never found out I was meant to push the pillars down on the Earth boss until I looked up onto the internet, and I couldn't find defeat Shendu since there were literally no tips on how to defeat him on the internet because this game is so damn obscure. Third, the game becomes incredibly lazy near the end. Episodes 5, 6, and 7 never leave San Francisco, and it goes from like this. You go to Section 13, you're tasked with something. You go outside into the world, into San Francisco, and you go to this one area, the demon is summoned, and you kick its ass. And there are no puzzles or anything after episode 4. Yes, even the final level, you go to one area to fight Valmont, and then you get teleported to one spot to fight Shenmue. You don't even have platforming sequences. And this is in the Netherworld. They had the most genius opportunity to do it, and they didn't do it. Besides, there's not even that much good about the game I can think of. It's amusing, though, that some of the combo finishers are directly from Street Fighter. I'll admit that the character models for the majority of the main characters are rather nice, and there weren't too many glitches I encountered. Acting's okay, but the Fisherman's save spot is the best just because of how horrifically dumb his voice is. And of course, it has Uncle, who is awesome. However, that really does nothing to help the game. In fact, I'll show you how I feel about this game. It's just devoid of nothing. There really isn't much good about the game I can think of, but there's nothing truly bad about it either. It's just so average that I kind of wonder, why does it exist? I mean, if you want to get it simply because there's a Jackie Chan Adventures game on the PS2, go ahead, but you'll probably feel as bored about it as I do after you complete it. As for the rating, I'll probably give it